Okay, so today we're going to talk about the metric system, a couple of things, how it came about and how it's different from the system that your parents or your grandparents might have used that's known as the imperial. So you might have actually heard the terms that they use in the imperial system. You've probably heard them in everyday life when people use them. Basically, the old is based on three essential measurements. And then we have feet and mile. Okay, so inch, feet, and mile. Now, the idea of inches, feet, and mile, all right, is that this is called imperial. It actually comes from England, and distance of the king's knuckle to tip of their ruler that shows you inches, and you put your thumb up like that, you'll probably notice that that's pretty close to an inch. All right, inch was actually the distance in thumb. Now, as you can imagine, different kings or queens might have had different measurements for that. So the distance of 1 inch would change when the king died, or if the king was quite young, as they grew up, the distance changed. Okay, so feet was the length of the king's foot. All right, spelled that one wrong. All right, so feet was the length of 1 king's foot. All right, and then a mile, actually, the length of the king's castle, I guess. It was actually like their yard, but so they were defined as, certain things that people could see around them. Now, obviously, there's a couple of little problems with this. The second one being that if you didn't live, no idea, gave you a measuring stick or something. The biggest was, for example, 12 inches was 1 foot, okay? And then to go from feet to miles, you actually had to do, foot was 5,000 feet, 180 feet in 1 mile. It's in between this, but the main one were inches, feet, and miles. So if you were going to convert units and you didn't have any idea how much that was in miles. So eventually a French person came up with the idea of the metric system is quite straightforward. Millimeters, kilometers. All right, there are issues like centimeters and that sort of thing, but the big thing that you'll notice is that each word has meter at the end. So there's millimeters, all right? And the idea is that simply use a different word at the front known as a prefix, okay? So 1 meter is actually now defined as the distance traveled by a beam of light. Now, it's actually travels in 1/300,000th of a second. So it's kind of difficult for anybody. Physicists can actually measure this anywhere in the world. And anywhere in the world, the speed that light travels 1 meter is the same, okay? Now, millimeter and kilometer now are defined based on the meter. So it's a lot easier to convert because, as we all know, have 1,000, that make, or 1,000 meters a kilometer. Okay, if I have 500 millimeters and things like